Yeah. What? What is happening? Oh my god. What's up, motherfuckers? Today I'm bringing you another tips video on how to get a 4K badge. Now I can guarantee you that if you follow these tips that I'm going to give you, I can pretty much guarantee you that you will at least get a 3K badge if you haven't already. For the more experienced players, or even less experienced players, you might even be able to get that 4K badge with the tips that I'm about to give you. Tip number 1. Use a G7 with a 3 times, okay, and an R9. Don't use double tappers either, that shit's trash, and you will be Gucci. By having that G7 with a 3 times, it will allow you to fight at a good distance, and it will basically just allow you to pop shots at anyone you see on the map. So yeah, having that 3 times on the G7 will allow you to fight at a greater distance, which will in turn mean that the enemies won't be scared of showing themselves at that distance. They will also want to fight you. And you know, once you shoot them and get them low, they're just gonna med up and carry on peeking you. Just get them to do that as many times as you can, really. And you ain't gonna be doing that with 2R99s. 2R99s are really great for kills and stuff, but a G7 is really gonna allow you to get that damage in. Tip number 2. Try playing Lifeline. If you want an easy 4K, Lifeline's probably the easiest character to do it with. Purely because you don't need to worry about looting meds too much and spend time using those meds. When playing Lifeline as well and you're trying to go for this 4K, never carry more than 6 syringes. Always only carry 6 syringes as your meds. You don't need anything else. You don't need medkits. You don't need anything. It's just 6 syringes and the rest shield batteries and shields. That's all you need. Her drone will be your replacement for her heals, don't forget that. And the thing is, you only use those syringes in very desperate situations. So tip number 3, because I've given you the setup of a G7 with the 3 times and an R9 as a secondary, don't get too close to your fights, because like I said earlier, by you staying away from the fights, it'll keep your opponents more confident and they'll peek you a lot more than they would if they were close up. Tip number 4, play duos or play with 2 other people that aren't as good as you. Just play with one friend who's just as good as you or even better and have him help you get this 4K. Because realistically, it's very hard to get 4K solos, especially with skill-based matchmaking. So you have a very high chance of doing it with duos compared to a 3. So the way you play duos is you load up with a friend and you let your teammate die. I know that's pretty sad, and I know your teammate's going to be pretty upset and probably going to spam ping. But don't worry about it. Tip number 5. Because you are using the G7 with the 3 times. When you get someone lower at distance, don't down them, because that's just going to waste time. Let them med up and let them get straight back into the fight. Especially if you have a better shot than them. There's no point downing someone who's worse than you when you can just literally farm them for as much damage as possible. Literally, you just gotta squeeze everyone like lemons, man. You gotta just squeeze all the damage you can from a single person. Tip number 6. Spend as little time looting as possible. The more time you spend looting is the less time you'll have to go get more damage. And also by playing Lifeline, you eliminate yourself from having to loot up even more syringes and medkits that you don't need to loot. Tip number 7. If you come up against a sweaty team and you know they're a sweaty team, or you see the champions and they're good champions and you come across them and you down one, that's when you must finish them. That's when you must end the fight, end the threat as quickly as possible. So if you see the champions, that's when you should go for the kill rather than just farming the damage. Especially if you're not amazing at the game and you know that you're most likely going to die against them. Kill them. Just try killing them and get them out of the game to make it easier for you. Tip number 8. Always keep your high ground. I say this all the time and this shouldn't really be a tip that I have to give, and people should already know this, but keep your high ground. Damage will be a lot easier to get. Kills will be a lot easier to get, and your survivability rate will go up by like 9,000%. So definitely keep your high ground whenever you can. Tip number 9. If you're in a 1v3 or a 2v3, always look for the right moment to attack. Or if it's like a 2v3, and you're again going for the damage, see if you can get rid of one. See if you can just thirst one, so to make it a 2v2, and then you can just farm the 2 people that you have alive. Tip number 10. Whenever you can hit someone on the map, even if it's not your fight, even if you're in the middle of a fight and you see someone far away that's fighting, that's just chilling there, go for the shots on them. Okay, literally every little damage helps. It could be 30 damage, it could be 11 damage, who knows. I've had it so many times where I've had like 3,970 damage, and literally all I had to do was just shoot one more bullet into someone with a G7 and I would have got the 4K easy. So just whoever you see, you shoot. Okay, just do it. Tip number 11. Another thing. Don't let teammates pressure your decisions you make. So if they're dead and they're spectating you, you know, sometimes I do this, mute your teammates. Okay, don't listen to them. It's all you, because there's no backseat drivers in Apex. It's all you. They can't help you. And the fact that they tell you what to do, and usually the things that they tell you aren't going to be helpful in your situation, and it's just going to be like a bee in your ear. So mute your teammates and focus on yourself. Okay, try making the decisions that are best for you and the decisions that you think are right. And if you make a wrong decision and you die, look back at it, think, like, remember what you did wrong, and try not to do that again. And if you do it again, do the same thing. Always remember the things you do wrong so you can improve them in the future, because there's no way you're going to get better at the game if you just completely ignore the fact that you just choked. So you can't ignore your stupid decisions. You should analyze it, and you should literally slap yourself. Because I have times like that where my brain just shuts down. Like I'm fighting a group of 3 and I down 2 of them, and I'm on low health, and I decide to push the last guy with no meds, and the guy has full purple shield, and I know I shouldn't be doing that. It's literally as soon as I die, I instantly know I fucked up and I did something very wrong, and I should not have done that. And that's kind of the mentality you want to have, really. You don't want to just get pissed off at yourself. Analyze it and move on, and try to improve on the next time. Tip number 12: don't be nice. Okay, so if someone kills someone, don't let them get it. Okay, if you're the first one there, you grab it, okay? Even if it's not yours, quotation marks, you grab it. If it's on the floor and someone else is looting it and they're too slow to get it, you grab it. If you have the opportunity to get a purple shield that someone else killed, you grab that. I know it's kind of an asshole thing to do, but you're going for this 4k, you're going for this 3k, you're going for this 2.5k, you're going for this 2k, whatever you're going for, you should focus on yourself. Don't give a fuck what other people think, okay? Even if they get pissed off at you, who cares? It's just a game. You're going to get that 2k, and that purple shield's probably going to save your life a lot better than it's going to save theirs. My controller's dead! My controller just died. There's no way. Tip number 13. You want to be aggressive, but not too aggressive. What I mean by this, you want to get to fights as quickly as possible, but you want to prolong the fights so you can get as much damage out of them as possible. Just think of it like you're squeezing all the juice out of a lemon, okay? You can either squeeze a little bit out, okay, and throw the lemon away, or you can squeeze all of it out, okay? You want to squeeze all that lemon, okay? Or watermelon, whatever you squeeze, okay? Tip number 14, another big one, okay? If you know you've had a decent game and you know you're on like 2k damage, 3k damage, okay, and you want to go for that 4k, farm the last team. Don't kill them. Keep them alive for as long as possible. And if there's 3 of them and 2 of you, kill one, because one could easily flank around you without you knowing. So if there's 3 of them and 2 of you, kill one of them and just farm the last 2. Like you're trying to farm some watermelons, okay? Because who knows, farming that last team will probably get you that 4k. And not many people do this, but farming the last team is literally the icing on top of getting a 4k. And if you're playing with a friend, which I hope you are, just tell them not to do any damage, okay? Tell them to shoot around them so they get scared. Yeah, ask them not to do the damage, then you can get all the damage. And then you got your 4k, okay? So yeah, these are just some simple tips to hopefully help you get that 4k badge and actually do the things I tell you in this video, and you'll genuinely be surprised on how much they actually work. I promise you, with enough hard work and dedication to the game, you will 100% get this 4k badge. Even if you're on PC, this is going to help, because this is nothing to do with controls or settings. This is all to do with the way you play the game. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this video. I might as well say thank you right now for 100 subscribers. See you guys in the next one.